Hello! Hello, hello! How's everybody going? We're going to be painting. We're going to be continuing this painting here today. Oh, that's going to be fun. We got to finish this today. It's just a study. There's no point in spending weeks and weeks on it. So this is the photo. This is the painting we have so far. And let me set up a timer. Hope you guys can hear me well. This time at least. And then we're gonna get started. So we have 25 minutes and then we pause for 5. I don't even remember my layer structure anymore. Good thing I name stuff. You should totally always, every single time, name your layers. I gotta think a little bit about what I have here to decide what I'm gonna work on. I think I want to continue with the roof right now. This whole circular part on top, we can make it much better. Just first removing the outer part of it that I'm not going to be using. Then I can take this up along with the orange light. Oh, okay, it worked. Let me change the brush to the brush that I was using last time, this one. I'm zooming in a little bit here, but I don't want to zoom in too much. It gets in the way. If I zoom in too much, we don't really see what's there. As usual, I'm going to be using a lot of selections here. First, just having some fun with some loose drawing. Hi, Elena! I'm doing well. How are you? I just got back from a trip. I was at my hometown. It was fun. We had a long holiday here. The holiday was actually on Tuesday, but then many people, like many workplaces, I don't know how to call it, but like they make Monday a holiday as well. We call it a long holiday. I don't know if you have that, but I love those. It's super fun. So I didn't have college. Well, I did have it today, but not Monday nor Tuesday. And I could go to my hometown for my mom's birthday. So it's going well. How are you? Any exciting projects? By the way, I just added a symmetrical ruler here, so I can really make this part of the building look symmetrical. Yeah. Long holidays are so good. For some reason, I'm pressing... I wonder if there's something off with my keyboard, because I'm pressing Control D. Oh, my D. Something's wrong with it. I use Control D to unselect. For some reason, it's not going perfectly. Yeah, I think this here is good enough. Although, I'm gonna have to replace it because it's not really centered with the building. Let's go back. It's so glitchy. I wonder why it's so glitchy. Today in college we did that, you know how we were doing metal engraving? Today was the day when we got to actually transfer it into paint. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. It's hard because we're not good at it, but it's fun nonetheless. We gotta always have fun with things, even if we're not good at it, you know? It's not just about doing well. I'm zooming in too much. Gotta focus here. Oh, the underwater drawing? Nice. Take your time with that drawing. It is a complex one. Okay, I'm too zoomed in. I gotta look here and see what can make the most difference in the image. First thing, I'm just gonna copy this structure and place it on the other parts. This one is a tiny bit smaller. And it's seen more from below than the others. That's why I'm distorting it. Yeah, exactly. You know how I was reading a book called Hail the Rising Tides? I think I talked about it last time. So I'm really close to finishing it, and it's so good. 100% recommend. It's about, let me see how I can summarize the story. The main character is a girl who, the name of the book is Hail the Rising Tides. The main character, when she was born with a goddess inside her people's goddess. So she's like the chosen one. But her whole life, she never got to actually tapping into this power. So she's a failure, basically. And let me see, what makes this story happen? Man, usually I'm quite good at summarizing stuff, but this one, or maybe do I just think I'm good, but I'm not? That could also be the case. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I'm painting, and it's hard to paint and think at the same time. I'm gonna pretend I'm actually good at summarizing things. Anyway, it's a good book. The characters are well written. The conflicts are really good. It feels quite 3D. The characters feel human in a very nice way. Basically, that's it. Basically, the story happens. It's because it's not just one thing, but there's, as usual, the fire tribe attacks. But it's not like the fire tribes attacks them, and it's not the fire tribe, but it is the fire people. They are the Soelans. No, well, that's not their name, but they believe in Soelan, which is the sun god. And so some refugees go live where Ione lives. Ione is the main character. So she struggles a lot about being a failure and all, but to be honest, I think she's in a comfortable place, so she doesn't really do it, like she doesn't put as much effort as she could. Anyway, there's this new character who pops up, a girl called Lena, and Yoon falls in love at first time. But it's not really a love story. It just happens to have romance. Well, although the romance is important, but it's not the focal point. The focal point is the whole, Fire Nation thing. Basically, the story starts happening when two new characters pop up, which is Lena, the refugee, and a guy who's there to create a barrier and protect her people. And she hates his guts. I love him. Me and everybody who reads the book loves him, but the book characters hate him. So I guess he must be a prick. I wouldn't like him in real life, I think. But since it's not real life, I adore him. Those types of annoying characters that you just love in a book, even though you would totally hate them in real life. That's the power of books. Yeah, Fire Nation attacks. It's always the Fire Nation. One thing that I really like about this book is that the author, she makes the characters make fun of common romance tropes. So the classical "Who did this to you?" is said, but in a jokingly way. It's really funny. I like it. I feel like this book is kind of refreshing. It's not same old things. It's a little bit different from usual. It's really nice. I gotta really practice my talking while painting skills. It's so hard. Seriously. Some days are harder than others, in my defense. Yesterday, I was on the airplane, traveling here. Before I actually got to the airplane, so I like traveling, and I like traveling by plane. I think it's fun, and it's relaxing, it's good. But then, I forgot my earbuds. It was awful. I hated it. I was like, oh my god, the longest 8 hours of my life. I think I might start painting in one layer here because it's starting to get in the way. I want to learn traditional painting, right? But when I'm working on something like this, I'm like, I have no idea how am I gonna ever learn that, because, man, working in one layer is already pretty hard. Imagine when you have to consider the thickness of the paint and how it can't be undone, and you can't keep painting over forever, you know? It's like pencil, how you can't just keep erasing and drawing. It's gonna ruin the paper. Major respect to traditional artists. Yeah, it's hard. But you know, I gotta believe that I am improving. If I don't believe it, you know, I gotta be Delulu a little bit. I think it's so cute, this whole Delulu thing. I like it. That book that you talked about, Elena, it's in my to be read list now. I want to read it. It seemed really interesting. The mermaid one that you're drawing. I had so much fun these days with the long holiday and all. I felt like I had so much time. I miss having a lot of time to read. I think it's my favorite hobby. More than watching, not more than drawing, but drawing is more of a work thing right now. It's not as much of a hobby. So considering this, it is my favorite hobby. Maybe when I can get back to doing aerial silks, then aerial silks will get the first place. Meanwhile, it's reading. So relaxing. Yeah, different materials change everything. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Again, I'm working too much on details. There's so much of this image that is undone. Oh, it's sci-fi. I didn't expect that. I thought it would be more like fantasy. I'm gonna paint over this tree and then I'll paint it on a new layer. Even though I said I would do everything in one layer, the tree gotta be on top. If I wanna do it in one layer, it's gonna be on top of everything else. I think I need to look more at the values here. Like how this needs to be darker. Yeah, now it's better. I'm gonna do some of the windows. Wrong layer. Oh, that's nice. I really want to get to read it. I will, eventually. But I hope it's sooner rather than later. Okay, now we have some windows, which is good. The image starts looking more complete just by adding a few tiny windows here and there. Oh, and can you hear the music? This time I think I got to, like, I fixed it. I love spicy. You definitely don't have to apologize for it. I mean, I do love romance without it as well. It depends on, the day, how the person is feeling, that type of thing. Alrighty, we have some windows. Good. Oh no, I merged the windows. Why am I always doing this? Oh man. Okay, now I have the windows on a separate layer. Ay. I like reading fanfic, and that tells everything because you rarely ever find someone who likes fanfic who doesn't like spicy. I mean, you will find some, but you know what I mean? As a general rule, that's how it is. Okay, let's focus here. What do we need to do to make this finished? I don't know. Oh man. Thank you for putting up with me and my weird singing. Yeah, I gotta work on the background, I gotta work on the buildings, I gotta work on everything. I'm gonna do what you're saying and focus on the background a little bit. Time's gonna be up soon, so we can think about it, you know? Alrighty. 5 minutes to rest. Today I barely drank any water and I ate so much sugar because I went to my hometown, right? Whenever I go there, there are just so many delicious food I can eat and lots of sweet treats. And then I eat a ton of them and my taste buds, they get used to the sweet taste. And then I come back home and I'm like, I need something sweet. So today I bought a whole pack like this of some treats that are kind of like marshmallows. They are pure sugar. Not pure because they also have egg whites, but it's just egg whites and sugar. And I ate the whole pack. And then I started feeling like jittery and kind of because of the excess sugar. I'm like, okay, I gotta drink some water and try to clean the sugar out of my body. Take it out of the system, you know? It's so funny how we know what we should and shouldn't do and what is and what isn't good for us. And still sometimes we choose to do what is bad for us. Yeah. Exactly. But Olena, I'm so happy because so it was my mom's birthday on Tuesday, right? And I ate cake with frosting and some sweet treats and all the stuff that I haven't eaten in so long, many months. And I didn't even die. Like I was just a little uncomfortable with the different food, but not heavily sick. And I'm like, this is such a win. Now I feel like I'm finally getting better. Like my health is improving. What's the food that you can't resist, Olena? For me, it's my mom's cake. I cannot resist it at all. I was even ready, like I was prepared. I was like, okay, I might end up at the hospital. It's worth it. I really want my mom's cake. That's how much I love it. But I didn't even, yeah, it was good. Chocolate? I like chocolate too. It's not a passion of mine, but I do like it a lot. I miss it. I haven't had chocolate. Well, I did have it on Tuesday on the like it was part of one of the treats, but I didn't have a lot of it. And I haven't had it since September, I think. It is sad. Life with chocolate is much happier. Okay, I don't want to wait anymore. We can get back to painting. But I totally get it, Elena. Chocolate's really good. Gotta love some chocolate. Now, to work on that background, I need to zoom out. Zoom out and paint over. And think about what I'm doing a little bit. It feels weird working with this brush that I'm not used to. But I like the effect. It looks kind of traditional, or very traditional. It is a gouache brush, after all. So it makes sense that it would look traditional when the brush is well made. That's what happens. Clip Studio now finally has that thing that Procreate has always had, where you you make a line and you hold, and it becomes a straight line. And I'm like, bless the Lord. I have waited this for so long. You have no idea how much. Like, this is basically the one thing that I missed from Procreate. It was being able to just make straight lines and circles and all that good stuff very quickly. Yeah, it's convenient. Super convenient. Oh, you know the funny thing? I was talking to a friend here, a Brazilian friend, right? And I say a lot like, oh, this is convenient, this is inconvenient. But that's not something that we say a lot in Portuguese. Like, the words exist, but we don't say it a lot. And I hadn't noticed that I say it. And then she was like, oh, I don't know, she just mentioned, she was like, oh, it's so funny, Bruno, you say a lot of like, this is convenient, this is inconvenient. I'm like, huh, I guess it's true. I just hadn't noticed. But you know, these are convenient expressions. I love using them. I don't know, how could I express myself without saying, hey, this is convenient, this is inconvenient? I gotta say it. Yeah, yeah. Texture makes a huge difference in making the art look more organic, look more natural. You know, all the good jazz. Oh, you know, I was listening to a podcast episode recently about the benefits of art on the brain and the well-being and this sort of thing. It was really interesting. The lady, she was an expert on it. She has a book, I don't remember the name, and I don't remember her name, but she works on, she's like the chair of something about the UN, the United Nations, and something about culture. Anyway, she was saying how very frequently people, like when they have all sorts of mental issues, you could prescribe art to heal them. And she says this is the future. The doctors will start prescribing art. I thought it was interesting. It is true. When we spend too long without art, we get sick. Yeah. We do have the convenient expression here, we just don't use it a lot. It's not very common, you know. I want to add some of the blue here on the background. I like the atmospheric perspective. I really want to have some of it at least. You know, I was working on a traditional painting that not painting, drawing that I'm making for college today, but I've been working on it for a few days, right? And it had been a few days since I last worked on it. And then I noticed that it's a photo study. So, but I noticed the that I had made the drawing differently. And I was like, oh, it's different. Let me make it the same. I changed it. And then I remembered that I had changed it on purpose to remove a tangent. But once I drew it with a strong dark line, I couldn't remove it anymore. And now I have a tangent on my drawing. I'm like, oh, I didn't remember it. That's why usually I prefer just doing stuff as quickly as possible so I don't forget why I made a choice. Because I didn't remember it was a choice. I thought it was an accident. But it was. Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, definitely medication is necessary in many, many instances. Sometimes art can be a support, a good support. No, I'm not against medication. Generally, it's an advance, a progress. We're only living so far, so much, up to the age of 90s and 100 years old because of medication. So I'm not definitely not against medication. But also I think modern science underestimates traditional ways of healing too much. So it's not one or the other. I think both are important. Let me see. Yeah, so I like the blue, but it's too dark. Thank you, Elena. Yeah, so I had tried placing the blue before, but it hadn't worked. So now I can try it again. Do it like this, and then lighter color, and then remove the roofs. So we can have some atmospheric perspective. Yeah, now it's better. Nothing like some good old atmospheric perspective. Now let's get to the grass, because I don't like the grass right now, but I can feel that it's gonna get there eventually. Just gotta be patient. Patience yields focus. And now I feel like rewatching Voltron. Seen Voltron? And I love that show. It's totally my comfort show. I can't even begin to explain how much I love it. And it's not based on anything. It's not like it is well done, but I gotta admit, it's not really that special objectively. But I just love it. Sometimes things just resonate with us. even if without any apparent reason. But I do think it is a really good show, objectively. No one can watch that and say, oh, it's hardly written, or the animation is bad. It's not, it's incredible. The team was really good, the team who created it. You know, I think I'm gonna add some texture to the grass, because maybe what I don't like about it right now, it's how flat it is. And then this whole frontal area is just one big thing. So maybe we can add some details, some grasses, some leaves, like what we see in the original photo, the reference. Now this is definitely too bright, so we gotta tone it down, down, down. Baby, are you down, 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 down? Oh, you know, once I saw about a study about how the music we listen to when we are teenagers, it gets processed in our mind differently. That's why people are always like, well, music back then when I was younger, music was better, etc. It's just because it creates different pathways in our brains. It's the new Voltron, the Voltron Legendary Defender. I haven't seen the old one. I'm not a fan of old series just because of the aesthetic. I'm not a fan of it. So I won't frequently watch anything like from the 90s or 80s or anything like that. It's just not my preferred aesthetic. Oh, now that we're adding a tiny bit detail here like this. Now I'm starting to like the grass more. It's promising, you know? This. It's funny because it's just simple details. Sometimes they make a difference. But I still feel like this is all too flat. So what I'm gonna do, this whole area here is flat, so I want to add some multiply on it. Make it a little bit darker. This is too dark. Yes, like this. To separate the grass on front. Oh, this is what is missing here. There's no overlap. Okay. I just noticed it now, and better later than never. So let's create some here. What can I do? The tiny grass will help already, so I'm gonna add more of it. But I need these two areas here to really, really look like they're in different planes and overlapping. So let me just try and get something nice here. And then the detail. Like this. Yeah, the multiply is helping, but it's not enough. Not nearly. That makes sense. Yeah, when we're young, everything is a little bit lighter. But I don't know, it makes sense to me that this whole, like this different way we process things when we're younger compared to when we're older. Not just because life is easier, because sometimes it's not. Like my life is easier and I have much less problems, fewer problems nowadays than when I was younger. My teenage years, they were very troublesome. There was a lot going on. And still, I prefer that type of music from the 2000s and 2010s, you know. So that's why I think it's not just about how being a kid is nice, because for me, being a grown-up is better. I prefer being a grown-up than a teenager. I don't have any of that. You know how people are like, oh, I miss being a teenager and not having any worries and not having to pay the bills. Not me. I love paying bills. I love the fact that I can do it. You know, I'm thankful for it. I don't mean it in a condescending way. It's just that my teenage years weren't very good. Not really anyone's fault. It was outside of anybody's control. It's more like a fact. It's okay. It's okay. Life is better now. Everything is good. You know? It's funny because I frequently just stop and feel grateful. Life is so good. I know that's not necessarily the case for everybody, but generally speaking, I think life's good. Let's get back to the drawing. What can we improve here? Or rather, since there is a lot to improve, what's going to make the most difference here? I think I want to do this tree right now, the left side one. Oh, I think I'm just going to have to create a new layer. All right. It's going to be here on grass detail, and it's going to be our big left tree. You know, something that I was thinking recently. So I don't usually talk, like I don't say a lot of swear words in Portuguese, not at all. It's very rare. when I'm here, like the place where I live right now, because here they don't say it a lot. And so I just kind of, follow the cultural norm, but it's not anything on purpose. It is what it is. But when I'm back home, people back in my hometown, they swear a lot. And so when I go there, I can't tell a single story without swearing. And it's so funny because it's so different. It's like I'm a different person. So all this just thinking about how we behave differently depending on our environment. I think it's interesting. Humans really adapt to anything. So when we're creating a tree, we want to prefer hard angles, avoid straight lines, and go from thick to thin. Each new branch will be slightly thinner than the one that originated it. It might be also a lot thinner, but at least a little bit. It's the bare minimum. Like if I come in here and do this, it makes no sense because the thin one wouldn't be able to carry the thick one. So it needs to go from thin to thick. Oops, from thick to thin. And then you can just branch out in many different directions. It took me a long time to figure out how to draw trees. But once you get the hang of it, it's not as hard as it seems. Yeah, I can't imagine you swearing, Elena. That is interesting, but yeah. I mean, it's hard not to swear when we're angry. One thing that is interesting that I found is, I don't know if you have the same feeling, but media in English, they swear a lot. Like you watch a series and they swear a lot. But when I lived in the US and it was a small town in the countryside, they didn't swear at all and it was frowned upon. And it was a little baffling to me because of the series, I thought it was acceptable. And some words, I didn't even know they were swear words. I thought they were just words, you know? Here, it's quite the opposite. People say it a lot more in real life than in media. I think maybe our media is a little bit more conservative. Same with music. So music in English, there's a lot of swear words. Different sides of you. Yeah. Everybody, we only know a fraction of any human. And everybody acts different. Oops. Time's up. Everybody acts different depending on who they're interacting with. And this is so wild to think about, like how my mom sees me, how she thinks my personality is. It's not how my boyfriend thinks my personality is. And it's not how my college friends think I am. Not because I'm actively changing who I am, but it's just we always react to how we are being treated, and that changes how we act. It's a little mind-boggling. Just like, you know how you really dislike a person sometimes, and they're happily married, and it's like, how can someone love this human being? But it might be a great spouse, a great parent. We don't know. Like, I have this. Okay, so just an example. My mom says that her father, my grandfather, he was a wonderful uncle. But he was a great father in some aspects, but he was a terrible, terrible husband to my mom's mom. So just people are different depending on who they're dealing with. Yeah, because you didn't know the swear words? How come you thought they were polite, but they're not actually? I'm just stretching a little bit. Yeah, it's about roles. You're right. Depending on the role you have in a relationship. Exactly. So when I'm with my childhood friends, people I'm very intimate with, I laugh a lot and I talk a lot and I'm really excited. But in college, for example, everybody's a teenager there. So they are already kind of too high energy, and too everything. They feel emotions very strongly. So I need to balance them. So I'm very serious, but not serious, but just a little bit less, lower energy. But it's not on purpose. I noticed it 2 months in. I noticed it afterwards. It's kind of like being a thermostat. If the energy in the room is too high, then I tone down a little bit. And if it's too low, then I can go up. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh, this funny thing happened. So on Sunday, I went to a restaurant with my mom. And so I asked for this dish that was curated, no, cured meat. I don't know, but meat that is dried up. I love this type of meat. So I asked this with beans, and it had a side dish that I can't have. So I asked to swap it for potatoes. And they were like, okay. And I'm like, I'm allergic to milk. So please don't use butter. Don't use anything that is a dairy, nothing about milk. Okay? I'm allergic. And the waiter, he was like, yeah, all right, noted. And then when the dish arrived, there was like this big ass cheese on top of the meat. And I'm like, dude, you put cheese on top of my meat. I'm allergic. He's like, oh, you're right, I forgot. And then he took it back. Oh, yeah. Reading the room can be highly connected to anxiety, people pleasing, this type of thing. I think I used to do because of these reasons before. Nowadays, I don't do it out of anxiety. I think it just happens. Yeah, the guy, it was kind of funny actually. My mom was upset because her dish arrived and then mine hadn't, so she started eating before me. I didn't really mind. It's fine. It didn't take long for them to bring it back, you know? But I do think it was very incompetent of him to do that. Okay, I gotta be a little bit quicker with the tree. I'm taking my sweet time, but we don't have all day, so gotta be a little bit quicker here. I'm trying to avoid going always in the same angles. Breaking the shape a little bit like this. But see how I accidentally end up making all the same angles? This is so human. Everybody does it. If we don't pay attention, we create patterns. So we gotta pay attention. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at this and then make another one here because we can see it. I think it's gonna look good if we add something more here. But then less detail. Yeah. Sometimes I do it like on purpose, but this guy, I have a feeling he was just because he could have cooked it with butter and I wouldn't have known. But he totally like he put a piece of cheese on top of it. That's why I think it wasn't on purpose because it was so obvious. But it has happened not to me, but my mom, she's allergic to a few different medications. And then one time she went to do a procedure and she said, I'm allergic to this and that. And the guy didn't believe her. Can you believe that? So he prescribed it. Not prescribed it because it was the nurse actually who, I don't know. All I know is that they put some medication that they shouldn't because she's allergic to it. And then she had a reaction, obviously. And it's like, wow, I haven't felt like suing someone this strongly ever before. It's like I totally wanted to ruin his life. But okay, my mom, everything turned out all right, miraculously. So, okay. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. They think people are just picky. And even if it were, like, you know, none of your business. None of your god darn business. But it's like, you know, when people are like, let's say there's someone who is trans and wants to be called a her. And the prick is like, no, I'm gonna call a him because etc. They have some random argument for it. And it's like, why are you being such a prick? What does it hurt you to just call the person by how they want to be called? Okay, this is coming together nicely, I think. It's looking good so far. Now I have, because we talked about anxiety, now that music that was famous last year is in my mind. Then it's like anxiety, na 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 na. Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety. Which I think it's a nice song, but I really hated that they did it with. It was kind of like a remix of, what is the song? Somebody that I used to know. And whenever the song started, the anxiety one, I thought it would be somebody that I used to know, but then they would change it. I'm like, why would you do that? Just create your own song. Wow, that is insane. The fact that someone's like, my name is this, and the other person said, I will call you another name. People are crazy. Honestly, sincerely, insane. That can't be normal. But I know it is common, but I don't know, it can't be normal. You know what I mean? Now I have somebody that I used to know on my mind. Oh, you know, I've been thinking more and more about how I want to learn to sing. I think when I'm done with college, because I mean, I'm not actually going to finish this course right now, probably, since I'm moving to the countryside on July. So I'm going to have to put it on hold for a few years. When I do, I think I'm going to take singing, because I've always wanted to know how to sing. Okay, this is looking better now. How can we improve it? That is a question, isn't it? You can see that I ask that myself very frequently. How can I improve it? If I don't ask this, I won't know how to make it better, and I'm gonna freeze. You know, when you're like, something's off, I don't know what it is, etc. Ask yourself, okay, what can I do to improve it right now? And here comes the question again. You know, I think I want to push some of the orange, make it stronger. Yeah. This course that I'm doing, the graphic design one, it takes 3 years to finish. But I'm gonna be moving away, so I can't finish it. Not right now. I can put it on pause, and then at some point in my life, I mean, it's not like they let you put it on pause indefinitely. I hope to be back before it's like my chance is over. If it if it's over, I'm just gonna have to do the public exam again and pass it and start it. Not from the beginning. The classes that I already took, I can just prove that I did it and continue from where I left, you know? It's because we're moving to the countryside in July, probably. It's not certain, but it's highly likely. And this course is not available there. That's why I am most likely gonna have to pause my college studies. It's a little unfortunate, but also I don't mind that much. I kind of want my time back. But it is like, I don't know, mixed feelings, basically. It's just mixed feelings. I want this really strong red here. Let's see how it looks with it. I think it's gonna look good. The good side about pausing college is that there are some parts of it that I don't want to do. Like, you know, when you finish college and you have to make a research, present it, like create a thesis. Yes, okay, I think the name is that. I don't want to do that. But it's not like I started college planning on just like taking a few classes and stopping. Because if I wanted to do that, I could do it without, because it's a public college, right? So you can ask to just watch classes. Usually they let you. They're not against it or anything. So if it's not important to get the actual degree, you can do that. Maybe it's what I should have done because I don't really care about the degree. I don't know. But I kind of wanted it, you know? If I didn't have skin in the game, I don't think it would be the same experience. If I didn't have to do the group projects and, you know, exams, all that thing, it wouldn't be the same experience. That's why I didn't just go watch the lessons and I decided to actually enroll. Yeah, that's true. I'm not taking graphic design to work for someone. I just basically want to use those skills for my own business. I want to improve my book covers so I can make better commissions. This type of thing. Okay, now this red is too strong. Can you see it? Let's change it a little bit. Make it less red, less saturated, just less. And also this blue here, this, definitely too bright. So let's tone it down, 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 down. I think I can zoom in now and detail the building a little bit more. There's something about the values that I don't like, or maybe it's the hues. What do you mean, Elena, about living somewhere near nature? Can you explain a little bit? I'm doing the bottom part of the roof. I've got no roots but my heart. Planted on the ground, I've got no roots. Whatever I say, it reminds me of a song. Have you noticed it? It's like I just can't be... just simply say things. No, that's too mainstream. It's not on purpose. I listen to music all day, usually. That's why I think about it frequently, about music. Now let's take a look at this roof here. Yeah, look, the bottom part is actually orange. It just has a tiny, tiny line in a dark tone like this, and then it's orange. And then the other side is actually dark. Kind of like this. Oh, I'm rewatching One Piece recently. We finished the second season of the live action, and then I finally convinced my fiancé to watch the anime with me. But we started at Alabasta because he had already seen the seasons before and he didn't like the seasons before. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But One Piece is so good. I'm always surprised at it, at how creative, how interesting, how just, I don't know, that guy, Oda, he's kind of a genius in a way. Oh no, yeah, so the reason why we're moving to the countryside, although yes, I do prefer living near nature and in, more of a peaceful region, but it's not because of that. It's because of Hugo's work. He's going to be transferred probably. So that's why it's also not 100% certain. We're going to know around June or even July, actually. I think we're going to know in July, and then we're going to move the week after. It's gonna be crazy like this. His work's a little bit crazy, but it's part of the thing, so I don't worry too much about it. I don't worry because I can do my job anywhere, you know? I have a friend, her husband is a colleague of Hugo. So same work, same uncertainty, but for her, it is very stressful because she works, you know, in an actual company building stuff. So for her, moving around is not as easy. It's a military thing, that's why. Oh, but you still did watch more than 300 episodes. That's a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna get Hugo to watch this much. Not only because of him, but I also have a tendency when we are watching stuff together, we kinda, when it's long, one of us gets tired of it, usually. So we were watching Naruto, and I'm not really a fan of it. I did like it when I was younger, but nowadays, not so much. And so sometimes we're like, watch for a few months, and then we stop for a few months, and then we get back to it. That's kind of how we do things here. I might actually be the one who's gonna get tired of One Piece. Not because I don't like it, I love it. Sometimes you just want to watch something that you can actually finish, you know, and not watch it infinitely. You're tired already? Oh, I see. Do you want to move somewhere else, Elena? So I accidentally made this here. Not accidentally, because I made it on purpose, but it was a part judgment here. I made this curved. So I'm fixing it so it becomes straight again, like this. Or it's like you want to travel. Why do you want to switch careers? But I'm excited to go to the countryside. We'll be able to live in a bigger place. Right now, this is so tiny. It's quite stressful. We have more things than we can make it fit here. And I'm not even a maximalist or anything. I don't have that much things. It's more because it is so tiny here. So it gets a little stressful. I'm excited to go to a bigger place because of it. Time's up. We're gonna pause. Yeah. I stopped One Piece at Thriller Bark because I hated the design. The character design was so bad. It was so bad that it hurt my eyes. So I couldn't get past those zombies. They hurt. And the story wasn't as good at that point. But I'm thinking about just being strong and persevering. Because I know it's gonna be amazing later. And the funny thing is, I was very excited for Thriller Bark because I shipped Zoro and Sanji, and everybody says how Thriller Bark is super them. But I couldn't even get to this point because I stopped at the beginning of the season of the arc. It was so bad. But I'm gonna get there eventually. Oh, you were a journalist. That is so cool. I didn't know that. So what about now? So you were teaching Ukrainian. Are you not doing that anymore, or do you want to stop doing it? Because teaching languages is also something you can do online, right? Yeah, I understand it. Ugh, I'm so tired. So it's a good reason. It has a good reason, but I'm really exhausted because I went to my hometown and then I went to bed at 1 a.m. every day, when usually I go to bed at 9 p.m. And then on the last day, which was Tuesday, a childhood friend went to my mom's home and we were like chatting until 3 a.m. Then he went home, but I had eaten too much sugar and I couldn't sleep. So I went to bed at 4:30, but I had to wake up at 5:30 to travel. So I only slept 1 hour. And then I thought, okay, when I get home, which was yesterday, I'm gonna rest and sleep. But then I didn't, and I only went to bed around 11-ish. And today I woke up at 5. So I'm I don't know how to say it. I'm just dead. Really tired. Hi. Hello. Welcome. We're just pausing a little bit because I need to rest my wrists and then we're gonna get back to painting. This is what we have so far. This is the photo and this is the painting. Just 1 more minute and we get back to the painting part. Yeah, I totally get just switching careers. It's basically what I did as well. It is fun working with art. Work is work, so there are times when you don't like it. But when people say, oh, don't try working with what you love because you're gonna hate it, I don't think that's a rule. At least it's not for me. Generally, I like my work. It's fun. Ooh, a book illustration and graphic design course. That sounds amazing. Here, there's this artist that I follow that she has a course on book covers, but I haven't been convinced so far that it would be very based in fundamentals. So that's why I preferred going to college for the graphic design part. Okay, so let's get back to what we were doing here. I'm doing the detail of the roof. Just some simple lines like this. But I think this is gonna look much better when we actually add the light part, because right now I'm adding only the shadow. But when I add the light, it's gonna be good. So we have some basic stuff here. Let's add light. Like this? No. I want it to be below the shadow. Yeah, now it's better, and also darker. Now it's better. Ooh, it has so much volume. Doesn't it look nice? It's exciting when it gets like this. And it goes like this. You see, I can't talk without thinking of songs. Recently, I was thinking about it. My mom, she's a very musical in the sense that she listens to a lot of music, and I don't know how to explain. But I thought I hadn't thought much about it before. But then a friend of mine mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's true. Interesting. And then I realized that because of that, I'm also like that a little bit. But my father as well, he would listen to music all the time. All the time. He had quite a bad taste. And because he was the one who was driving when we traveled, we had to put up with his music. It was horrible. Nowadays, I love that type of music. But as a kid, I didn't. Yeah, singing performance. When I learn to sing, I'll make sing performances. At least I do have a notion, like I'm not tone deaf, so there's that. I want to think that it's some sort of some sort of an advantage. Like, okay, I might not know how to use my voice, but at least I'm not tone deaf. When we add this, look at this. It's such a tiny detail, and it makes a world's difference in depth. Just adding this tiny little thing here on the window. Like this. Ooh, nice. Same with this one here. We gotta pay attention to detail like this, because this is what's gonna sell our image, sell the depth of it. I know, okay, the essential is getting the values right. And, good proportions. Yes, essential. But this here is also very important. It's in the details. I'll never say that the details are more important than the large things. composition, the fundamentals, but it would be a lie if I said they don't matter. Some of them don't matter, but some do. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna ask you when I get to when I get the time to learn to sing. I'll ask for your help, Elena, your recommendations, because I know you can sing well. I love your voice. One thing we can do here is look at this, just a tiny bit of light. Makes a difference. Anything can create a difference, depending on where it is and how you do it. This looks like a face with a long, long nose. How cute. We're very close to finishing it now. Let me zoom out. Flip it. And look at the big picture. With fresh new eyes. What can we do here? Some overlay. Oh, that's so good. Yummy. Something like this. I add a lot and then I remove it. Not too much, just a little bit. Maybe here as well. Oh my God, that's tasty. Yes. This is what was missing. Oh man, I really want to learn traditional art. Because in traditional art, you can't do it like this. And I want to know how to do it not like this. Now, this right side area, I don't like the values. So let me zoom out. Let's remove the overlay just real quick. Then let's check the color, the values actually. Okay. Creating a layer named fixes. And I'm gonna try to fix the values that I don't like. I think I don't like how distant these trees and bushes are. It creates too much noise on the image. This here is too bright. Let's see. Yeah, now it's much better. No, I wasn't adding gray color because even though I had the saturation layer on top, it is locked with you see the lock on the right side. And when we lock a layer on Clip Studio, I can color pick while ignoring this layer. So it only picks all the other colors. I don't know if you can do the same in Procreate. Maybe. So it's worth looking it up. Oh, that's too bad. But are you certain of it? Because it's not something like I have to toggle something on here in Clip Studio. Many people don't know how to do it, in fact. So it might be something like this. Let's see if it's worth it adding this tree here. Even though it creates a nice overlap, I'm thinking it adds unnecessary complexity. But I'm gonna do it seriously and then decide. Oh yeah, I think maybe I like it. Yeah, I think the tree actually made it better. It's so funny. See, that's why we gotta try things, because I didn't think it would look good. But I tried it and it was for the best. I see. Well, that's too bad that Procreate doesn't have it. This is something I use a lot of it. It's very handy. It's useful. Convenient. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, we have saved selections in Clip Studio as well. I'm gonna try to add texture to the wall. Let's see how it's gonna look. I don't want to edit as much as we see on the photo. I don't want all the detail. Just a little bit. This is too saturated, so let's try a different tone. Yeah, this is better. But right now it's too uniform, how the areas with and without this texture. Gotta always, always, always be mindful of your brush strokes. And then here in the back, we actually get some stripes. I'm not gonna add them as much, just a little bit like this. Oh, I'm watching a really cool anime called Yatagarasu. I thought it would be a romance, but it's actually about politics in a really interesting way. It's Yatagarasu. It totally looked like shoujo, and it might be, but there is some romance on it. But it's more about the politics. I think we are close to being done here. I already said that. I actually think we're done. So just details now. A little bit more ambient, like this. Not forgetting to select the roofs and remove it from the ambient light. See, before and after. Small details, but important. Important ones. One thing that I noticed here, this is annoying. The light color before the orange. So I'm gonna fix it. That is so funny. Okay, everybody, when you watch streams, don't use blue glasses. It's gonna get in the way of your colors. A good thing it wasn't with you drawing. If you were painting with these glasses, it will get more and more in the way. So right now, the back tree on the left side, this one here, I don't like how much contrast we can see. So I'm gonna try to make it darker on this region to reduce some of the contrast. Yeah, this is better. Now let's just see something here. Do I have the tree? Yeah. I will select it. And what am I gonna do? Just paint it with a lighter color as well on the top part. Reduce the contrast. Yeah, no. Blue glasses are good. Let me see if I can, if it's gonna look good if I add some clouds here. It might not look good. I think it's too white, so we're gonna change it. Now it's too orange. Too white, too orange, too this, too that. Yeah, I think some of this, like this, it's nice. Kind of cute. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Oh wait, just a tiny bit more texture here on this region. Where's the texture here? But I needed less brown, more gray. A little bit of texture like this. Yes. And then when I finish a study like this, I want to add a character. I might do it later. I can never ever finish an environment study and just let it be. But that's not ideal because I didn't plan the composition to have a character on it. And now if I think about adding one, I can't even think about where it would look good. It's not a good idea. I'm gonna try to just leave it. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Here I go again. And now I'm thinking of here we go again. I kinda wanna be more than friends. Which reminds me Killing Stalking, because back then when Killing Stalking was famous, there was this famous music video they made with a low-key, I think it's low-key version of this music, this song with those guys from Killing Stalking, which, by the way, I'm not recommending. I don't think it's that good of a... I mean, it's not bad either. It's not my style. But I did try reading it for a while, but it's just so depressing. Nothing good ever happens. Yeah, it's hard. It hurts to read. So I read it for a while, and then I realized that it wasn't adding anything to my life, only taking. So that's why I stopped reading it. It's too heavy. Now, I don't like the crosses. I'm just gonna do without them. And then, as usual, I did it on the wrong layer. I might have to repaint something. Oh no, it worked. Okay. Okay, let's call it done. We're done. Woo! This was a fun painting. I used a different process from what I usually do, and I learned a lot from it. Yeah, you did well, Elena. Nothing good comes from reading that manual. It's ugh. Nowadays, I can spot it earlier, but when I was younger, I would sometimes finish a series before realizing that it sucked my soul. So it's living and learning. Wait, I just noticed I want to change just a little bit here. Hold on. I want more blue on the middle roof. This one. A little bit more blue and lighter. But it needs to be more green, actually. So kind of like this, yes. This one as well. Now it's too bright. Gotta be careful with the overlay because it can change the value structure. It usually does, actually, but sometimes it'll be positive and other times it'll be negative. So that's why you gotta be careful. Overlay only doesn't change the values if you use it with a exactly 50% value. Anything different from that and it will affect the values. Yeah, okay, we're done. Really? I have never done that. I don't like spoilers, so I would never read the ending before the beginning. But it makes sense, actually. So what was different in this study is that I painted more like a traditional painting. I made an underpainting of orange and painted on top of it. I used this textured brush and I tried to make it more just painterly in general. And I didn't use lasso fill, which is my favorite painting tool. So that's why it was different. It was more organic. So yeah, that's basically it. All right. Then we're done for today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for everybody who came and watched. And I'll see you next week. I haven't decided what we're doing next week, but something fun. See you then. Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. See ya.